Here we are, race 19. This was Seattle Yacht Club taking an early lead off the start, but it looks like Team StFYC Blue has come through on the right side. Looks like boat 2, skippered by...
That's Chris Rabb.
By Chris Rabb, has some great boat speed. He's one out on the right side, and looks like he actually is winning the race now. So, although Seattle had a commanding lead off the start, Chris Rabb from Team StFYC Blue has broken up that 1-2-3, and he remains the best hope right now for StFYC Blue to get back in this race. He's got a nice, huge, winding right shift, the biggest right shift we've seen all day. He's playing that real nice. That big right shift got him back in this race. It looks like he's got a great lay on the mark here. So I think Rabb's going to round first. But it looks like Seattle's going to have a 2-3-4 as they get around this mark. It's still early to say that, but that's what it appears like. There goes Rabb flipping onto port. He rounds in first. Seattle's going to have a 2-3-4, and this is going to be a close race coming onto the downwind. These two teams both have 5 points and are leading this event so far, halfway through. Actually, we're more towards the closing end of round robin 2 here on Saturday. So here goes Rabb. Oh, what a hoist. Wow. Looks like they came out of a rocket launcher or something. That was unbelievable. Whoever's pulling that halyard for that StFYC Blue team is doing a heck of a job. Having a little trouble retrieving that sheet, but doing a much better job so far than the Seattle boat that's trailing it. You can see that owl looking on. Tentative looking, has that look on his face. He's had that all day. He's watching the racing. And Rabb's got that 3 boat length lead. That's a pretty comfortable lead, but his teammates have some work to do. So either Rabb's going to likely just try and get to the bottom mark in first, then try and compress the race there. That's probably his best shot, rather than take on 3 boats that are trailing him. That's probably a tall task in this much wind. Looks like the 2 trail boats from St. Francis are doing a nice job with their boat handling. They're slowly catching up to Seattle and doing a nice job trying to close in on one of them. All they've got to do right now, if Rabb stays in the lead, all St. Francis has to do is pick off one of those trailing boats from Seattle. Then all of a sudden they're back into the race. So it looks like Healy and Silvestri here trailing are going to try and do some kind of a high-low maneuver. This cruising boat's making it awful tricky to see what we're looking at. But so Healy and Silvestri really closing in now. Looks like they're collapsing the spinnaker of the Seattle boat right in front of them. So I think that looks a lot more comfortable now for Rabb out in the lead. He must be happy to see that spinnaker collapsing on the Seattle boat, which is allowing his teammates to get back into 4th place. Looks like, who's that doing the damage there, Robbie?
Doing the damage is Russ.
So it looks like Russ Silvestri has kind of snuck his way to the inside of the Seattle boat that's in 4th place, and that's their key to holding on to this race. Chris Rabb's gone for the early douse. They're approaching the mark. He's dousing at about 10 boat lengths, which is a good thing to do because it's windy and the flood is taking them into that mark in a hurry. So he wants to get that chute down and get ready for some boat handling. And he's slowing his boat down, just trying to make sure that everything's in control here. So Rabb's just going to make sure that all the boats are rounding in a tight fashion. He wants to mix things up here and give his teammates a chance to catch up. But it looks like Seattle's done a great, amazing job here of holding on to that 2-3-4. And so far, it looks like Silvestri has not made it through, although he is kind of got a little bit of an inside edge there on the 4th place Seattle boat.
St. Francis Island. Yankee flag. No response.
So St. Francis has some catching up to do here, but it's really close. Seattle's in the 2-3-4, but they're virtually neck and neck there. So there goes the trail boat for St. Francis, tacking back towards shore. Ooh, Seattle having a bit of a rough tack there. And actually, it looks like, ooh, some interesting stuff going on there. I think the Seattle boat here out left has had a couple of challenging tacks. They might have given up some distance here, and I think actually St. Francis Blue will be going for a play 1 here. They're going to try and convert the 1-2 on the left side of the course. Looks like there's a little stronger wind here on the left. Some puffs coming down this left side. Whereas the first beat featured the large right shift, it looks like the big shift on this beat is actually a left shift, which is going to be an advantage to St. Francis Blue. And we're going to watch to see how this crossing goes.
Big winder on the right side too.
And Robbie's pointing out that as we're watching this left shift come through, there's also a big winding right shift. So it really all comes down to which way the wind curves here. What do you think, Robbie?
It's tight racing here.
Tight racing. As Jessica walks into the glass door. So StFYC Blue they're controlling the left side, but who knows if that's the favored side. So far it looks like Seattle's coming out of the middle and coming out of the left, or sorry, the right side looking upwind. So I'd have to say Seattle's actually winning this race right now.
They're controlling.
Looks like they're in a 2-3-4. And that right shift, it's actually gotten quite shifty here in the last little bit. Some big puffs rolling down. So again, it looks like Seattle's got a bit of a lead here. This is a crucial cross here, I think. If the wind goes left here, St. Francis could have a 1. A 1-2, actually. They've got both a good lock on the left side here. So they're kind of hoping for a left shift here. Any shift to the right, and Seattle comes out with a 1-2. I would say if the wind stays steady, Seattle's got a 1-2. So let's see what happens here. What do you think, Robbie? Oof. And now it actually could be St. Francis we're looking at a 2-3-4. The lead Seattle boat's way out in front there, but their teammates have dropped back a little bit. Or it could be a 1-2 for Seattle. Looks like this last shift here has been a bit of a righty. Ooh, St. Francis needed a left shift. They didn't get it. Looks like it's winding right into the finish, and that, from 2 minutes ago, that was the advantage to Seattle. And it looks like Seattle's going to take this with some strong sailing here on the last beat, really throughout the race. So Seattle takes the overall lead here. They've got a 1-2. This is the end of round robin 2. Seattle's got 6 points. St. Francis Blue, losing Seattle here, has got 5 points. And we're getting ready to start round robin 3.